Hey, everybody, it's Tony George along with Sean Salisbury, host of the Sean Salisbury Show. Be sure and check it out over there at iHeartRadio, the best talk show in the country when it comes to sports and unfiltered opinions. And we've had some unfiltered opinions, Sean, about the Phoenix Suns all year long. We've talked about how great we thought this team was. Here they are now, Western Conference Finals, up 2-0 on the road and laying a point after probably what I would call, Sean, maybe one of the finest executed plays to end a game that I have seen in quite some time. They're laying 1 point total, 221 in Staples Center tonight. Your thoughts going into this one?
You know, and backtracking, Monty Williams, who finished, I think, second coach of the year. I think Thibodeau won it. Did Thibodeau win it? I think Tom Thibodeau did. But Monty Williams, you know, and I understand with the way they played, but Monty Williams had one hell of a year and is a hell of a guy. I'm going to tell you, I know that they didn't have a timeout, but fortunately with review, they were able to get one, right? Or you wouldn't have been able to draw the play up. But, Tony, I don't believe, and I'm serious about this, I'm thinking about all my years in basketball, but this wasn't a design. Remember when Bird stole the ball and kicked it to, what was it, DJ, and for the bucket? But that was a steal and a play before he fell out of bounds, not designed. I understand, you know, we've had great designs, but you're never going to find a better one in a clutch game coming out of a timeout when really if Paul George hits two, you're done for the most part under that circumstance. It would have been a catch and shoot fall away three with 0.9 to go. To have time to design it, and normally when you design something, it doesn't always work out like you want it to, right? Well, Crowder has got Cousins and makes the great pass. Goaltending's not a factor. Knowing the rule, secondly, that you can't call goaltending on some out-of-bounds player when it's a live ball that didn't come off the rim. The pick by Booker, who's already been beat up with a big broken nose. I know for a fact that he's been fitted, you know, was trying to be fitted for a mask after that. And then, you know, and he's a superstar scorer, but to sacrifice on a guy look twice his size. And then to finish by Ayton, the execution and the design of that play, you will not see a better one the rest of the playoffs. You won't see a better one all next season. And it's one of the great ones and could see. If it would have been in the NBA Finals, we'll never quit talking about it. And the Suns are going to get to the NBA Finals. They cannot win without Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. So I've thought about this. Now, remember, this is something to keep in mind when you're betting this game tonight. Is Chris Paul's back, at least supposed to be back, probable, and Kawhi Leonard's not. Last time they were faced with this in Utah, in the last Dallas and Utah series, down 2-0, the Clippers have won both. So Paul George, how will he feel coming out of two missed free throws? Does he elevate or does he pout? Not saying he's pouted before, but those things can have an emotional effect on you, good or bad, the next time. I woke up this morning thinking, okay, I like the Clippers because it's at home and the energy. But you know what? There also gets a point where some teams beat you down so bad and you know your star's still not back and to be able to calm your team as Chris Paul. I thought about this and I'm taking the Suns. I am. And I'm not so – if they get to 3-0, I think it's a sweep, Tony. I do. Yeah. Not disrespect to the Clippers. The Suns are a better team. They get their leader back. I don't think they can make a heavy – although they've kept it close, without Kawhi Leonard, with Leonard it's a different series, but at 2-0, they will show up. I do like I like the Suns. I woke up varying. I looked at it hard, and the Chris Paul, as long as he's back, I think the Clippers could be in trouble. How they emotionally respond at home will be something. This is the one series they're not coming back 2-0 from. I'm taking the Suns in this one tonight. I like it. I'll give you that point. I think this is a field goal game, and I think they're going to ride that momentum into the next one.
Well, I have the side play on this over at DocSports.com, so I'm not going to make a lot of comments, but a couple of things jump out at me here. The first question I asked you on the last game when we talked about this series was, can LA win it without Leonard? And you said absolutely not. And that's going to come to fruition. They're not going to win this series. So, you know, whatever the series price is on, you know, Phoenix is just going to continue to go up with every win that they have. It's also concerning they were gutted in that last game. I mean gutted. Now, you played in the NFL and the Canadian Football League. When you were gutted in a football game, so you played at USC. When you were gutted in a football game, you had 7 days to recover. You have 24 hours and it's back to work. And that's a very difficult task. It's going to be interesting to see how Tyrone Lue can coach these kids up. You know,
Yep.
It really is. I think that's something that you want to consider. But the one thing I like here is we had 107 points in the last game, and they both played terrible. A matter of fact, Booker was 5 for 16 or something, and you had
207 points. Yeah, right. 207 points. Right. Yep.
Yeah, 207. And the total sitting at 221 tonight. I like the over tonight. As a matter of fact, the Suns have went over 11 out of the last 12 times they were a road favorite. They went over 12 out of the last 17 times they were a favorite. They're 25-12-1 their last 38 on the overs. And the Clippers are 4-1 their last 5 as an underdog with the over. I like the over. I think they'll both play better from the floor tonight, shoot better from three-point range. I think it's going to be a good ball game. There's a reason the spread is 1. It's going to be a good ball game. I mean, despite what happened last ball game and a wild finish that's one of the better NBA playoff games I've seen in a while.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was 2 teams going at it where both teams wanted the win. They both were doing everything they could to win the game in spite of some indeficiencies, Sean, that they both had. They still had the willpower, and you know it was a battle of attrition. It was a very physical game. I thought it was one of the best NBA playoff games I've seen in a while, Sean.
I loved it. I'm with you. I didn't miss a second of it. And I will say this to close this out. You made a good point about the emotion. And sometimes in 24 hours, like in 7 games when we had it, it can fester if you let it. Sometimes 24 hours is good to get back on the saddle. But if you don't make quick adjustments, you bury yourself. And I've been on both sides of it. I will say this about both teams. Whoever gets over the emotion quicker, meaning for the Clippers, the negative part, and for the Suns, the high of being able, okay, this is we got a 2-game lead. We can afford to lose 1. No, you got right now. You're in a position. You're about to put your foot on their throat and a chance to do it. And if you do it tonight, the series is over. They're not winning 4 straight, especially with not knowing about the Leonard situation throughout the rest of the series. You got to get over this emotion quick. If I was coaching, I'd simply say to both, the rearview mirror is smaller than the windshield for a reason. Keep it moving. Let's go. We'll see.
There you go. Spoken like a ex-NFL player who's heard a lot of speeches from a lot of good coaches over the years, ladies and gentlemen. That's for sure. DocSports.com, free $60, link in the description below. I have the side playing this game tonight. Be sure and get over and check that out. Check out Sean on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered, and, of course, the iHeartRadio app you can download and get the Sean Salisbury Show. Some great stuff on the show, so be sure and tune in. Thanks for tuning in here, folks. Good luck tonight.